My relationship with my mama, man, is something that I never, I can't even explain it, bro. Like sisters and brothers or something, man. Cause I'm the only child. You know what I'm saying? I knew that my mom, you know, when you're born, you know that's your mom. You know, they teach you to say the names and stuff, but you don't actually know the bond yourself. You know what I'm saying? That you have with your mom, man. But I remember this one time that gave me the idea of how tight me and her were and how responsible she was, man. I had asthma real bad, man. To make a long story short, we would catch the King Drive bus from 71st Street down to Michael Reese Hospital, man. It'd be 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, man. And we'd be walking, and I would see, it would be snowing hard. It was snowing hard, and the lights was on top of the truck, you know, on the bus. And I'm like, Mama, I remember, Mama, here come a bus. And we turned around, and we even had jogged a little bit to get to the bus stop, man. And when we got to the bus stop and turned around, man, it was an 18-wheeler truck. It wasn't a bus, you know. And we had to keep walking, you know. When I got to the hospital, though, I went to the fish tanks, man, and playing there, and I see her falling asleep, you know, things of that sort, man. And we got home probably about 5 o'clock that morning. Went to sleep, woke up, Pop's still home, but Mama left. And you know what, man? She went to work, bro. She went to work, man. So that means that she didn't get no sleep at all. And that's that sacrifice. You know, that's that love, that unconditional love, you know, you have for your seed, you know, that you're willing to do anything to get them when they gotta go. Safety first, prosperity second is what she most definitely lived by. You know, she always made sure I was safe, man, and when she could give me gifts and stuff like that, that was the prosperous part, man, you know. So me and Mom's like this. Yeah, it ain't nothing that I wouldn't do for her. I know I'll never be able to pay her back. And my brother John, most definitely, he feels like that towards his mom, man, and I'm gonna have to piggyback off him for that, man. There ain't no way we can pay y'all back, man. But we most definitely do what we can to pay homage, you know. So that's why I do what I do for her right now to this day.
Relationship with my mom. My relationship with my mom, I have a great relationship with my mom. I think my mom is a phenomenal person. A couple things that come to mind when I think about my mom. As I said earlier, in terms of advice that she gave me as I was approaching fatherhood, that sort of thing. But a couple of memories. My mom, I recall growing up here in Chicago. Chicago had some tough winter months. We had some real tough winter months. My mom never had a car. Mother never had a car. It was just the two of us in terms of from my mom. And my mom, I recall being on the bus stop with her on 69th and Wentworth. I could recall it just like it was yesterday. And my mom being the type of person, she would tell me and my sister to stand behind her to block the wind, you know what I'm saying? To block the wind from being so cold on me and my sister. And she was just that type of a woman. I tell people all the time, man, my mom could have been the biggest hood rat in the neighborhood. I never knew about it because of the way she carried herself and the type of person that she was. I recall getting hit by a car when I was probably maybe 7 or 8 years old. And coming out of church, you know what I mean, crossing the street, walking right back across the street, and before I knew it, man, I was hit by a car. I tell people all the time, if life ends like that and death like that, you don't even know you're gone. But when I came back through, I saw my mama just beating on the ground, man, snow on the ground, slush on the ground, a whole 9 yards. She beating on the ground saying, "Maine, wake up, wake up, wake up." And she didn't even know it was her son that got hit by that car. And she recounted the story to me, and she tells me that she told the person that was standing next to her when she heard the impact of that car that whoever child that is, I know they're gonna be hurt because I know that child couldn't have survived such an impact. She said she just had no idea that it was me. It was her own son. So when I think about my mom, I think about a phenomenal woman. And she's a true mother to this day. She's a true mother to both me and my sister. She'll come by my office, try to clean up whatever she can find her hands to do. She's just that type of person. Never made a whole lot of money, never owned a car, could never really sit up here and tell you that she had the greatest of a career, but she was a phenomenal mom, and I think motherhood in itself is like a career. So just a phenomenal woman across the board, man, and ain't nothing I wouldn't do for her. The love she's given me, I could never repay my mom back. Real talk, I could never repay her back. She's just a phenomenal woman.
My mother, she gave me some advice, man, that I still use to this day, man. Big Mama told me, I was working a job. I was working at Home Depot on 87th and Dan Ryan. Before they even opened up to the public, I was working there, man. And they had cut my hours to like 12 hours a week, and they was breaking it down 6 hours on a Friday night and the other 6 on a Saturday night. So they was still in my weekends, right? I called my mom, man. Big Mama say, I was like, "Mom, I'm sick of this, man. They cut my hours. I can't go out and kick it like I want to. If I had the 40 hours I was getting before time, I'd be cool." She said, "Baby, look, when you get off the phone with me, quit. Walk out and quit. Don't spend another minute doing something that you don't love doing. So when you get off the phone with me, you get the hell up out of there. You hear me?" And I was like, "Okay, Mom." And I'm thinking like, Mom ain't got no money like that, right? And what I'm gonna do for money, right? But I went on, man. I rolled the dice. I listened to her, man. I called her, first person, you know, and I thought of calling, man, and I did exactly what she told me, man. And until this day, bro, I will not do nothing I don't love to do. Not that I like, love. And when you love to do something, you got nothing to do with no money, right? The second thing, man, my brother, man, took me to church, man. You know, John took me to church, man. He introduced me to Bishop Odell. And Bishop said this quote to me, man. He said, "If you find yourself going through something over and over again in life, that means you didn't pass the test the first time." And that stuck with me, man. I was in church, dude, and when he said that, man, it was like nobody else was in church. It was just straight to me, because I kept making the same mistakes, you know, arguing over the same thing, bumping heads, not really taking out the time to understand the full totality of a situation. But when he told me that, man, that changed my life, man, and I still apply that to this day. If you find yourself going through the same thing over and over again in life, that means you didn't pass the test the first time. I most definitely still use that to this day. So them two things right there set in stone right here.
Discipline is the single best quality that my father has. And I think the best definition I heard for discipline is knowing what to do, knowing when to do it, and do it the same way every time you do it. And that's something that my father has instilled in me since I was a young boy. Even at a young age growing up, I didn't appreciate the discipline that my father gave me, just like you probably don't appreciate the discipline that I've given you. But I think over time, I've learned to appreciate that quality about my father. His discipline in his job, his discipline in his home. My father is the same man every day. Now, we might not like that man sometimes, but he was the same man every day as we were growing up. And his discipline actually prepared me to go in high school and play for a coach like Coach Scott that I had in Simeon High School. His discipline made it easy for me to transition into a lifestyle of playing football and not feeling uncomfortable because I'm being pressed or yelled at or being told to do things over and over again till I get it right. It was my father's discipline that helped me be good at football, to prepare and get ready when nobody else is watching. A child without discipline is a child that's lost, my dad used to say. And I found that to be true. He said if you prepare now, when the game starts, you don't have to worry about anything because you'll react. That's what discipline does for you. It calls you to react in the proper way when you're under the heat of the moment. So discipline is the attribute that my father carries to this day, and I admire the most about him.
Becoming a father was a scary thing for me. I mean, just I don't see how a lot of men do it with 6 or 7 children. Just the thought of just having one child was scary for me. Just understanding that the role that you have to play in another human being life, that what they become or what they don't become is pretty much on you. That's a scary thought. It certainly was a scary thought for me at 19, and it's even a troubling thought for me even approaching 40, realizing that you have a hand in shaping the lives of another individual. That's scary. Not being successful, not living, not living out my purpose, and life being over with before you get to whatever your purpose and your true calling is. I think all those thoughts are kind of scary and intense for me, knowing that you've gotten through life and not lived up to your true potential.
One of the scariest, probably not moments, but thoughts. So my mother had me when she was 40. All right, so think about it. If she had me when she was 40, when I was 10, she was 50. So she would come up to the grammar school, man, I used to go to, man, Barnell. You know what I'm saying, in the hood, man. And one of the kids, I remember, man, coming up to me and she like, hey, your grandmama in the office. And I was like, nigga, fuck you talking about, nigga, that's my mama, nigga, you know what I'm saying? Because she was older and all the other mamas, you know what I'm saying, was younger, man. So right then and there, I remember that day, man, I had ran to the gym room, man, and I was thinking like, damn, man, if my mama 50, that means she gonna die soon, man. You know what I'm saying? She old, man. So, and I used to worry about that, man, because I never knew how old she would live, or basically, would she be living when I get older, you know, so I can kick it with her and have a grown-up relationship with her, you know what I'm saying? So that was one of my scariest thoughts, you know what I'm saying? But man, dude, she's 79 and I'm 39 now, man. So, hey, big mama, you done seen them come and go. Hell, you damn near outlived all your friends. But you most definitely still here, man. She's still moving, man, and I love every bit of it, man. I most definitely thank God, man, for giving her the amount of time, man, to spend with me, man. Her and my dad, man. And I love them both, man. I love them both, man. Most definitely mine, man. That time, man. Jesus, God, Alpha and Omega, whatever they call you. Thank you for allowing my mother and my father to still be in my life as I'm older, man. Most definitely.
Son was the oldest. My very first thought was the word responsibility. I got another person's life I'm responsible for. So now what do I do? I've been single all this time, 30 years. Now at 30 years old, I have my first son, or my only son. And I say, well, what do I do? I had to redirect my life totally. Because I wasn't used to giving nobody else my time. I wasn't in a relationship. I wasn't even trying to be in a committed relationship. I just wanted to be me and do me. But now I got somebody else I got to take care of. I got a responsibility. And that responsibility calls me to think about everything different. It even calls me to think about women differently. It calls me to think about the price his mom paid when he was born. Actually losing her life after he was born. And it calls me to think about what I'm going to do in terms of raising this boy. It calls me to think about my relationship with my dad. Me and my dad get along well, but we're not extremely close. And I didn't want that to be with my son. So it caused me to reevaluate everything. And most importantly, it gave me some joy to have a son who I can impart some of the wisdom that I got throughout in his life. I can perhaps correct some of the mistakes that my dad made with me. See, my dad's father died when he was just a little boy, 7 years old. The same age my son was when his mother died. But that vision of my son being born just woke something up inside of me, something that I've never experienced before until that time. And that was a great sense of responsibility for another person's life, not for a thing. This is another life that I'm responsible for. And now that I have it, what am I going to do with it?
Well, I wish my dad would have given me more. It's a great question. Real talk, I would have to say maybe more time. More time. I can recall when my mom actually, my mom and my dad kind of went their separate ways. You know what I'm saying? I probably had to be maybe, I would have to say maybe first or second grade around that time. In fact, my father stayed on the east side. He stayed 6700 Crandon at the time. I know that building's still there. That's this white building from Crandon. I know when they kind of split up, went their separate ways, or whatever. And and that's the kind of household I kind of grew up in. He didn't exit my life, but him and my mom just wasn't together like that. He was older. By the time my pops had me, he was 50 years old. He was 50 years of age. My mom was 28. So he was an older gentleman. He was an older dude. So I'll have to say a little bit more time. Definitely recall spending time with him over weekends, that sort of thing. But in terms of like taking to get my hair cut or stuff like that, or to a baseball game, that wasn't kind of how we connected. We connected on a different level, but we didn't connect like that. So looking back on things, I would have to say I probably wish that I had a little bit more time. That probably even would have helped me with my sports a little bit too, how I think about it, in terms of giving me the confidence that I think that most males in this type of culture, in this type of society just need to kind of just make it through.
Just being busy with life just takes away from spending time with your kids. I don't think a man should ever, looking back, I don't think a man should ever spend more energy outside of his home than he spends in the home. If you spend energy building a business, working a job, coaching, or whatever it is, you ought to spend that same energy with your kids at home, because at the end of the day, those kids are the biggest investment. So I would say that the time is the one thing I thought I would spend more. When I was younger, my dad didn't have a lot of time for me. And that was one thing that I desired for him. And it was one thing that I said I would never do to my kids. But as I got older and got busier, that's what I did. Maybe not as bad as my dad, but if I could do it over again, I think I would do even a little more. Spend more time with you guys.
My father was always in shape, man. He, brother came from the South, man. He was always one of those diesel dudes, man. And I always wanted a body like him, because a lot of kids in the hood, they didn't have fathers. My father would tell me, hey, don't worry about fighting nobody. Always come and get me, because a lot of your friends, they don't have fathers at home. And I was like, huh? Being a kid. But then I come to realize they didn't have fathers, you know what I'm saying? So I always wanted a body like him. When I got in trouble, he would come out there, man, and they say, that's your dad, so they wouldn't mess with me like that because of the shape my father was in. So I always wanted to have that body like him, because I noticed that that's all my friends was talking about when they brought up my father, right? But I didn't take it upon myself to lift weights like my father to get in shape when I was a shorty, because he would use that as a form of a punishment to me. So when I got in trouble, he would tell me to keep doing reps, man, that it would burn my arms, man. So, I like some people when they kids and they, whatever you ate a lot of when you was younger, you don't want no more of that when you get older. So that's how I was when I got older. I was like, man, I don't want to hit no weights, man, because he would have me hit the weights a lot, man. So that's one of the memories of fun.
I met my children's mom at church. I met her at church. I was a lost soul. And I needed change in my life. I really did. I needed change in my life. Growing up in Inglewood, coming from schools like Robeson and that type of environment, right, where we didn't do little leagues. We did games, right? Mama didn't have a whole lot of money, so however how you make money or to find a way to support your family, you did just that, right? And we're talking about an era when a lot of jobs and opportunities really wasn't available to a lot of struggling or working class black families. So, what did we do? We did what most young people during our age group did. I mean, the economy was a drug economy, right? And so getting back to where I met my children's mother, I met her at church because that's what led me to church, trying to escape that type of a lifestyle. And what I saw in her is what I needed during that time. I needed someone who had a connection with that higher source, that higher being, who had some relationship with God was concerned, and I appreciated that. I appreciated that she brought that to me. She brought that to my life, and although we didn't make it, our marriage didn't survive. It only lasted 10 years. The 10 years that she gave me, I appreciate her for that, and I honor her for being the wife that she was to me during that time, during those 10 years, and being a phenomenal mother to my children. That's what she gave me. So we often say reason, season, lifetime, and I have to say that definitely. The reason that she came in my life was a profound reason, because I needed that, and I see, looking back on the impact that had on my life, it's had a tremendous impact, and it definitely molded me and made me into the person I am today.
Trey and Amari mom, which is now my wife, Erica, she was 15, I was 16. Of course, we all know she lied about her age, trying to get with a plaid, you know what I'm saying, this handsome, fine. I probably would have lied. I was not too trying to get. You see, you know what I'm saying? Shit, goddamn. But anyway, But look, yeah, man, she was 15, I was 16. My boy Terry, man, was dating her sister Rochelle, man. R.I.P. Rochelle, man. Love that girl, man. And Terry just told me, man, when you with your boy, you ask your boy, man, she got a friend, and he was like, man, Rochelle got a sister about your age. I was like, man, hook it up, and I got introduced to Erica like that, and we pretty much flourished from 15, 16 years old, man, teenagers, man. That's my day one, man. Jalen mom, Maria, man, I met her walking down Cottage Grove. You know what I'm saying? I was feeling myself, you know what I'm saying? In the big damn sounds, banging TVs on chain, looking good as I do. You know what I'm saying? Pull up on us, mom, shout it! You know what I'm saying? But I pulled up on her, man, I talked to her, man, got a number, and I dug her, man. Real intelligent, smart, man. Kicked it with her, man, and ended up getting with her, man. She was real cool, man. No bad stories or history there, man. Just good learning lessons, man. Had good times, you know what I'm saying? Things of that sort, man. So both women, man, I have children by. They're phenomenal moms, man. They're most definitely smart, intelligent women, man. So I most definitely picked two good women to bear children with.
Companions should be someone who is your biggest fan. Life has a lot of ups and downs, a lot of ebbs and flows. But just like a fan who is a diehard fan, she still cheers for their team. They're still there even when their team has a bad record or has a bad week. When you look for a companion, you want somebody who's going to stand by your side through both the good and the bad, who's going to maintain that same level of love for you no matter what is happening. I think the perfect example of that is my mom. My mom has always been faithful to my dad throughout the good and throughout the bad. And her faithfulness has been a staple in that relationship. And it's caused that relationship to be stable over 60 years. So when you look for a companion, I think the best thing to do is to look for someone who's going to be your biggest cheerleader.
My first kiss, man. Hey, we recording, right?
You with a dog.
Hey, boy. Hey, y'all can pitch in on mine. Hey, my first kiss, boy. Whoo! Man, boy,
orgasm right away or something?
What'd you say?
Yeah, the orgasm right away?
Man, boy, look, it was funny. Hey, man, watching the movies, man, we all watch the movies, man. My first kiss was, man, to feel another girl's lips, man. Wow, man. Wow, I think I peed on myself, boy. When you're young, man, you that's the first thing you want to do, man, is try to and get with a girl. You know what I'm saying? You dressing nice for girls, man. I start ironing for girls, man. I ain't care about no pants having wrinkles in them at first, man. This is the things you normally do to get attention from a girl, man. But my first girlfriend, man, I most definitely, man, slobbed her down. You know what I'm saying? Tongues all lit. Yeah, man, don't judge me. Don't judge me.
My dad worked at night. He was always out all night. My mom was at home, and I was out with my friends. I didn't want to come home. So what I did was, when my friends were, I was always told to be in the house at a certain time, 9 o'clock. This night, I just didn't want to go home. So when my friends went home about 10 o'clock, 10:30, there was a vacant lot near my house. Well, it wasn't vacant. It was where they kept old cars at. And I climbed the barbed wire fence, got in one of the backseat of one of the old cars, and went to sleep. And I slept there for about 3 hours because I just didn't want to go home. I wanted to be rebellious because me and my mom had got into it earlier that day. She was getting on me about something, and I just, felt like I just didn't want to go home. I started feeling myself. I think I was about 12 or 13 years old. I stayed in that back seat till about 2 o'clock in the morning. Didn't know when I got in the back seat of the car that there were dogs in the lot. I looked up, there were 2 dogs running around. I didn't know what to do. And by a stroke of luck, they ended up on the other side, and I went and jumped the fence and got out there. And when I got home, my dad had took off work was waiting on me. And he let me know it. He let me know it. I wasn't rebellious no more after that. I learned my lesson.
What do I do for fun? A lot of times I'm certainly a cerebral person. I always thinking, I always reading books. But what I do for fun, I do have moments that it's just me, just being a little bit more playful and things of that nature. I dance, brother. I dance. I dance every week, once a week. I step, and I appreciate that because that brought a balance to my life in terms of not always thinking about the seriousness of life. And things of that nature. So what I do for fun, I dance. I dance once a week. It gives me time to just express myself in another way, to express myself physically, to connect with people, do my thing with music, because music is energy. So I love listening to great music and love allowing my body to connect with the music, allowing the music to connect with me.
Hey man, I got my first car when I was 17, man. I was super determined to get me a car, man. I bought me a 1977 Impala, man. It was a gray colored car, man. Dull paint on it, man. I bought it for Union Auto Sales over there on 87th and South Chicago. Moms didn't want me to get it. She thought I was too young. I was working at High Park Co-op, man. In High Park, man. It's not there no more. But I saved up $500, man, when it got me a car, man. I was 17, man. I actually started driving a car when I was like 12, man. I used to go with my guys, man. They used to steal cars, and I'd go with them, man, and ride around, man. And I learned how to drive from my buddies, man, being rebellious and young and stupid and silly back then. And kids don't do some of the things your daddy did or your granddaddy did, But yeah, man, that was pretty much it, man. 17.
Coming up, my dream was to be a professional football player. I don't think I loved nothing coming up more than I loved playing football. Ever since I started playing in the sand lot behind my house, we play in the summertime, we play baseball. In the wintertime, when the fall hit, we start playing football. Me and my friends would be out there in the snow playing football. And I didn't really play organized football until I got to high school, but I just fell in love with it so much. And I was really good at it at the time that I thought it would take me to the professional ranks. That's how much I loved it. I devoted all my time and my energy to playing football. I studied some of the great players from the past. I emulated some of the things that they did, and I tried to incorporate their mentality as well as their attributes into the way I played football. Unfortunately, I had reconstructive surgery my sophomore year in college, and at the point in my life that devastated me for not being able to play anymore. But as far as coming up, that was the one thing that I loved. It was the one thing that I wanted to give my son, probably against his own wishes, of course, but that was just the one thing that I aspired to be as a young kid. a professional football player. My dad used to sit me down on Sunday afternoons while we were eating. We would just watch games, and my dad would tell me about players from yesteryear, and he would talk about players from today, and he just cultivated a love for football, in me. He didn't do it all the time, but he did it enough to where me and my brothers started to have a love for the game. And I think out of all of my brothers, I am the only one who actually played in high school and in college, and who actually loved it probably more than all the rest of them.
Sports is over for me probably after elementary school. I realized that wasn't the calling for me. I kind of blew it maybe after eighth grade. Tried to play basketball from maybe 5th grade to 8th grade. In fact, I was probably, me and one of my buddies, we were 2 of the only 5th graders to make the team. He kind of progressed in his sports career, and it just wasn't my thing. I probably think for 3 years I rode the bench. I was just that horrible. Wasn't supposed to be my experience. I thought I would do a lot better in that whole demonstration, but sports just wasn't my thing. So after that bad experience, I kind of gave it up in high school and kind of stayed in my lane, stuck with the books, got a little bit more intellectual and that kind of thing, got into radio and speaking, but sports just wasn't my thing. Even to this day, I'm not much of a sports dude, and I don't really watch sports like that. A lot of people find that interesting because most guys, they always into sports, basketball, football, you name it. You talk to me about it, I gotta pretend.
Growing up in Inglewood, yeah, I was, man. I was a gangster disciple, man. The difference between me and being a gang banger is that I wasn't a gang banger, man. I was a hustler. I loved the brotherhood that the gang stood for in my community, man. Especially because I was the only child. I didn't have any brothers or sisters coming up, man. So to go outside, man, when I used to see the GDs, man, throw up that pitchfork and lock up, man, I was like, man, that looked great, boy. You know what I'm saying? You see the box Chevys pull up, man, the 30s and 4s and the 215s in the trunk. You feel me, John? That sound familiar? That sound familiar to you? Man, you see these brothers, man, and they was just unified, man. They just had that love off the block, man. And I wanted that, man. So I went out there, goddammit, and I asked, what can I do to join? You know what I'm saying? And they told, hey, man, you just got to come to some of the sessions, man. So what I did was, I was an opportunist, man. I found out early on, man. I most definitely got that from my mom, man. Joining the gang, I was able to make some money, so I did hustle. You know what I'm saying? And I actually did good with my money, man, when I was hustling, selling petty drugs, man. I remember this one time, man, I actually helped my mama pay the rent. She came in the room, man, facts. Man, she was like, she was crying. She said, son, Big Daddy ain't got the money. We're not Big Daddy, called Jimmy at the time. We call him Big Daddy now. And he ain't got the money for the rent. He ain't got his part. The rent was $400 at that time, man. And I had $700 saved up at 13 years old, man. And remember Nintendo boxes. I had 2 Nintendos sitting on top of each other, man. She told me that, and I was sitting there thinking, like, what can I do to stop her crying? I didn't like that, man. And I was like, cool. I lifted up. The Nintendo pushed it back, grabbed the $700 out. And I gave her $200, man. And Big Mama, she took the $200, man. And she was like, where'd you get this money from? And I was like, man, I was serving, And she was like, this is the devil's money, this street money. And I was like, but Mama, you need to pay the rent. She was like, yeah, you're right, yeah. And she took that money, man, and she paid the rent, man. So being gang affiliated for me at the time, man, it actually helped me out, man. So I never went to jail. I don't have no felonies on my record. I never shot nobody. I never did any drive-bys. Things that. So I was a real clean affiliate, is what you would call, man. I wasn't a gangbanger or a thug, man. I was most definitely a hustler. So yeah, I was. GD.
I have to say that I'm happy with where I am in life. Pretty satisfied with where life has brought me to this point. Approaching 40 years old. The Lord allowed me to see it next year. So certainly, it's been a blessing, and many trials and tribulations. But I'm definitely happy with where I'm at right now.
To 3 of my seeds, my only 3, because Daddy ain't making no more. Okay, the next set of Taylors that come into this world will be created by you 3 guys. Amari, Rochelle Taylor, the baby that was born that made me shed tears. I ain't shed no tears for my 2 boys, but my daughter, most definitely, I shed the tears for a special moment, special young lady. You know how Daddy feel about you. I teach y'all GTG, be greater than good, all the time. That's most definitely important. Everybody's watching how you perform on stage every day. Carry yourself and continue to carry yourself like a responsible, intelligent young lady. Daddy loves the shit out of you. You hear me? I love the shit out of you. Jalen, my little dude, my baby boy. Right now, it's 2016, son. You're 10 years old, all right? I'm your best friend. You know I always tell you that. And the reason why I tell you I'm your best friend is why. Because Daddy do everything I do. Exactly. I'm so blessed to have the time to put that basketball in the air with you, to go to every game, every stage play. I mean, it's just phenomenal to see you grow from that little baby to little man to a grown man these days. And hopefully that God bless me to still be here to see you flourish, man. Daddy loves you, man. I think you know that. I make you feel that. It's one thing to know it, but to feel it. I want you to be successful. Do what Big Mama told me. Don't do nothing you don't love to do. In case of point, man, we was riding in the car and I asked him, you want to play football? Baseball. We was talking about baseball with Coach Chris. He was like, nah, Dad, I don't want to play baseball. And I told you, good, son. Don't play no baseball then. Stick to basketball. And he was like, that's right. And I love to see that, that you most definitely won't just play with something that you don't want to do. Stay focused and always do what you love to do. Daddy loves you dearly, man. You my little dude. You the last of the Mohicans, as they say. Trey. Big Trey, boy. Big Trey. My first. Right now, man, like I say, 2016, you're 20 years old. Of course, that makes Amari 14, right? Hey, man. We done had our ups and downs, man. But you you most definitely gave me what I gave Big Mama, pretty much, right? Love the shit out of you, G. Conversations, time in the vet with the top down, man. Shopping, game rooms. Best friend / hey, man, speechless when it come down to you, Trey. I created you on purpose. Sat down with your mom and told her. No, my bad. Because she'll say I did. But I most definitely said it myself, man. I was going to create you, man. I love the shit out you, boy. I don't want nothing but good for you, man. All 3 of y'all. If God called me home first, you look for wisdom and knowledge and understanding and guidance from your Uncle John. That's my dude. Hands there. Y'all take care of each other, man. Take care of your mama. Take care of Maria. Do not leave Maria out the loop. You know what I'm saying? She had Jay. We don't do that half brother shit. That's your full brother. Get out there in the streets and let motherfuckers tell you that's your half brother. Cause your father got a baby by another woman, man. Y'all full. Y'all raised together. No split homes at all. We ain't play that. We ain't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? I love all 3 of y'all, man. Y'all be great. Y'all piggyback off each other. No argument. If y'all argue, y'all motherfuckers get that shit together. And yo, you tell your kids that shit. To my grandkids. Y'all clear that bullshit up, man. You can't buy time. I don't care what they selling at the stores. You cannot go buy a 6-pack of time. You cannot go buy a big bag of time. You can't go put 50 on pump 7 on your nice new car and get time out of that pump. You can have plastic surgery all you want to make you look young again. You still old. We here, we gonna pass, man. Time is your #1 commodity, man. I love all 3 of y'all. I love your mothers. I love your uncle. Most definitely, man. Y'all take care of each other, man. If one of y'all got $1, you split that shit up. Split it up, man. I love you guys, man. Y'all know that. Hopefully one of these days we'll be back up again. It'll be all good then. But I most definitely, oh, this is my last thing, y'all. The legacy that I done left behind with real estate. These properties. Y'all use that to take care of each other. Don't sell shit. But you hear me? Do not sell none of them houses. Keep them houses. You take care of them houses. I'm always about generational wealth, and you know that. Y'all take care of each other with that. I love y'all. If you could leave a message for your grandkids, starting with Trey, what would you tell them?
Tell them don't let nobody make no fool out of them, and fast money is no good. Just keep your job. That's the only way to make it in this world. And watch everything.
Okay. What about Amara?
Oh, I ain't worried about mama. Mama already gonna have her heads on her shoulders. She said she gonna go ahead on to college. And I told her to be a good girl, and I love her. And love your parents dearly, because I say you all have 2 beautiful parents. And you better learn to respect them and love them.
What about JJ?
Oh, my JJ. Oh, I tell him I love him, and tell him, I say, if you don't be a follower, you cannot follow nobody. If you don't be that leader, then you ain't doing nothing. I tell Trey that all the time. And when you're out in the street, if you're going to dinner with anybody, when you get up from the table, if you leave something on your plate, don't drink, don't even eat or drink. That's when you come back. Because you don't have friends, you have socials these days. Back in my time was friends, but right now you don't have too many good friends.
My closing thoughts to my 2 children is that I probably will never have any more than you 2. So I want the both of you guys to know just what you mean to me. Everything that I've tried to do in life has been because of you. In fact, my drive right now is because of the 2 of you. I can't tell you guys to do something that you don't see in me and that you can't model in me in terms of a great example of a human being, as a father, as a friend, as a soon-to-be husband, and as a sibling. So on the sibling thing, all you guys got is each other. And I want you guys to take care of one another when I'm no longer here to take care of you 2. And look out for your family, you know what I'm saying? Because family is important, and all we have is time. So cherish that time with one another as often as you can. Tell each other that you love one another, spend time with one another, embrace one another, and help each other through the struggle. Because that's the only way we get through the struggle. No man is an island. You know, we're not here by ourselves. We're here to help one another. And the very reason why you guys are siblings and God has placed you guys in one another's life is to help you guys to weather the storm and get through the storm together. Friends will be there, and friends will become like a brother and like a sister and things of that nature. But God has also given you blood, so don't take that for granted. So take care of one another while you have this opportunity that we call life. I love you guys. Take care of yourself, and let's make it do what it do. Love you. What would you want to tell Germany?
I would tell Germany, stay focused, because the world, she thinks she knows, but the world will swallow you up out there. You just fresh meat right now. So, but I want her to be the young lady that God wants her to be, you know, and I want her to stay strong, you know, and I want her to be encouraged, you know. The one thing I like about her, she's determined to go on to be somebody, you know, something what special. And so I just hope she continue on it. She can stay focused and keep her mind where it should be, you know. Jay, I want to say to you, you be encouraged and you listen at what your father say, because your father have tried to be a father to you. And so I want you to just give your father the respect and love your father, and because he is there for you. Whatever he's telling you, he's not telling you anything wrong. I know sometimes he can be a little hardcore, but that's still your father always, because he loves you. I admire about Jay. He one thing about him, he's compassionate. He really cares how people feel. He's concerned about that. That's what I admire about Jay.
Last thing I like to say is just know your worth. All three of you, Jessica, Aeneas, Peyton, know your worth. Remember that you are the crowning glory of the creation of God. You were created in His image, endowed with the seeds of greatness, and knowing that, you shouldn't look up nor down to anybody else. And just remember these two things. I always take this with me. Work like everything depends on you, and pray like everything depends on God. That's an unbeatable combination. Don't look to the left or to the right for somebody to get something done. Do it yourself. Put in the work like nobody else is helping you, and pray like you're the only one that can get a prayer through. I love you. Be great.
Today is very special to us right now. I mean, very, very special. We all three fathers. We have children, man, sons and daughters. We most definitely wanted to take out the time to give you guys a video of us in a super positive light. You know, I'm sure it's something on, you know, something on YouTube or some pictures and stuff you guys have of us that you have good memorabilia of us on. But we wanted to take out some time to give you all an interview for questions that you probably wanted to ask, to get to know us a little bit better behind the scenes, you know, because we most definitely be serious a lot of the time when we're with you guys, or playful and not really going into how we were back then or how we are now. These two guys right here, Brother Al, Brother John, most definitely my people. I love these two guys right here, man. We done been through some things, growing and learning from each other, man. We done cried together, we done embraced each other. We most definitely done gave each other nothing but positive energy and positive thoughts to make it through a lot of situations in life, as far as raising kids, marriage, just friendships, and just things that, you know, period, in life that you need to make that phone call on. These guys answer the phone. My brothers answer the phone 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about money. It's just strictly about the love, man. So we wanted to take out some time to dedicate this video to you guys, that you can show your kids later on down the line, man. Us as fathers love you guys, man, and if we haven't met each other kids yet, man, you can watch these videos, man, and most definitely learn something from them. Go ahead, brother, what you got to say, man? It's on you, man.
It's on me, right?
Yeah, it's on you, man.
Man, I like to say that if you guys are as fortunate and blessed as I have been to have gentlemen like this in your life, you definitely will be able to get through much of a life thrown your way. Interesting enough, obviously, you know what I'm saying, Smoke, childhood from 4th, 5th grade, met this brother. I never was a rapper, you know what I mean. He had the ability to write and spit, and I just could spit, but he used to write rhymes for me, and we met through a good friend of ours named Sean.
Sean, yeah,
Sean,
baby Stone.
Yeah. Introduced us, and we've been in each other's life ever since then. You know, we kind of, as life go, you know, you go your way or whatever, and God has a way of kind of bringing people back in your life or whatever. And for good reason. These two brothers right here certainly have been lifetime brothers, lifetime friends. I mean, it's just been that kind of thing. You know, even to this day, I mean, ain't nothing that I would ever desire that neither one of these brothers wouldn't do for me. You know what I mean? And the value, you know, I tell you guys all the time the importance of friendship, and bad company corrupt good behavior. You know, but if you get anybody in your life, you know, like these two brothers have been meant to your dad, you know, you really found something special, greater than any sum of money that you could ever earn or could ever be given to you. You know, again, Brother Al came in my life when I was first entering business with American Family. Again, I was a young guy, 23 years old, and that brother showed me the ropes, and I'm forever grateful for him taking me under his wings during that particular time.
Man, you're still young, man. You're still young, man.
Is that right? I was a lot younger then.
I'm trying to make me feel old,
I was a lot younger then, and my hair, you know, wasn't as thin.
Right.
You know, but now that brother came in my life at a very critical moment when I was first starting out in business. And a couple of years after that, you know, I was being challenged within my family, and that brother was there to help me go through those troubled times, and I'm forever grateful for our relationship and the brotherhood and the camaraderie that we had, that we formed then, and that we still have to this day. And I can't say enough about this clown here. I mean, God, dog. I mean, this brother from being super silly to being super serious. I mean, I get the best of both worlds, as y'all saw in this video, and that's something powerful to have. Somebody in your life that you can be completely vulnerable with, serious about, and they can know good, bad, and ugly. There's no judgment, a lot of wisdom, a lot of love. And 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, this brother will always be there. Always call, how you good on finances? You know, anything that I've ever needed, he's always been there. So if you guys are lucky enough to find two people that had a heart that these brothers have, hold on to them, because as Smoke said earlier, you don't get too many friends, and that's real talk. You have a whole bunch of associates, a whole bunch of people that you get to know, but true friends, they don't come every day. They don't come every day. All. So I appreciate you brothers.
Man, same here, G.
Likewise. When I think about friends, I always go back to that scripture in the Bible that says a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. You know, I don't think you realize who your real friends are until you go through something. You know, I think there are two realities that everybody live. That reality that they think is their life, and the reality when something happens, something big, some event that changes everything, and then they look around and they see what their life really is, who their friends really are. You know, people always say you want to go know who your friends are, then go through something. You know, and that's true of life, you know. I can honestly say that both these brothers have been there for me when my own brothers wasn't there for me. You know, they've been my friends, you know, when life has took a turn for the worse. And I appreciate that 100%. I do. And what I've always attracted in terms of friends is people who are different than me, people who think different than me, people who act different than me. And I've always appreciated that about Smoke and about John. You know, Smoke is all the way to the left. You know, he all the way. He will challenge you, you know, in every way possible. But at no point in our relationship has it ever made me feel uncomfortable. In fact, it's opened me up and probably allowed me to be less judgmental. I think you need people in your life that will give you some diversity and that will give you some perspective that you haven't got in your life, because usually you're going to be shaped by the environment that you come up in, and you need to meet people who allowed you to look at that environment and to step outside of that environment and think differently and act differently at different times in your life. You know, John has always been a pillar of strength in my life, always a pillar of wisdom. Even as a young man, I've appreciated his honesty and his wisdom in my life. You know, I appreciate these brothers in so many different ways. I got so much respect for them as fathers. They've always been faithful to their children. Even when the relationship thing wasn't working out like we wanted to work out, we still as men need to be faithful to our children. And when I say faithful, I mean faithful in being fathers. I've came to the realization that if my son fails in life, it's because I failed as a father. So I'm always trying to evolve. I always believe that the largest room in the world is a room of self-improvement. And we can always have more and do more, because as men, we can always become more. And I think the proper friends has allowed me to become more. It's allowed me to become more compassionate about my family, allowed me to become more intellectual, more thought-provoking, and even I think good friends make you a better friend.
That's true.
Yeah.
You don't want to have just anybody in your life. You don't want to just have acquaintances. You want to have good friends, good solid men. Good solid men make you a solid man. Just that, and don't be afraid to love your brother. Don't be afraid, you know what I'm saying, to give him your best. Because a real friend will not only appreciate that, but they will reciprocate that.
That's dope.
Last closing thought, man. If I could say this, man, one piece of advice my remember his brother gave me in closing, just show you the type of cat this is. Remember he told me, he said, John, you can read that Bible from Genesis to Revelation. To use his word, he said, don't mean shit if you don't apply it.
Right.
And that's the kind of cat that this brother is, and the kind of realness that I've experienced in terms of friendship and brotherhood.